All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a concept from our source material that's honestly pretty mind-boggling. It's called the one-head paradox. Think about it. You've got one brain, right? Just one single mind to process the entire world. And yet, that one solitary brain is subjected to this absolutely overwhelming, non-stop barrage of educational inputs over a lifetime. We're going to examine exactly why that happens, what it actually does to us, and more importantly, how we can completely rethink our lifelong learning journey so we find clarity instead of just burnout.
Okay, let's really dive into this. The source poses this brilliant, foundational question. When there is only one head, why do we need multiple institutions to put information into it? Just let the weight of that sink in for a second. I mean, we treat human education like this massive, heavily industrialized process, basically assuming that one single mind somehow needs a whole army of external entities to function properly. It totally challenges the status quo of how we even approach personal development.
So, let's watch how this compounds across a lifespan. In our early years, bam, the pressure starts immediately. Parents, preschools, formal school. Then we hit adulthood, and the baton just gets passed to colleges, bosses, and mentors. You'd think it ends there, right? No way. The pressure doesn't stop. The exhaustion just keeps compounding well into post-retirement. Literally, we spend our entire lives running on this treadmill of continuous external input.
Actually, the text calls out every single entity constantly trying to cram info into our heads. We're talking parents, friends, kindergartens, teachers, colleges, and it doesn't even stop there. Next thing you know, you're juggling gurus, bosses, mentors, online courses, certification programs. Honestly, it's a miracle we even have time to sleep when we're so busy collecting gurus. Our one single head is basically a bullseye for all of them, and they are all demanding our attention, our memory, and our total compliance.
But after all of that, after decades of gathering inputs from all these different people and institutions, the anticlimax is just stunning. As the source bluntly puts it, we still feel lost often, even post-retirement. Despite a literal lifetime of diligently collecting these inputs, the end result for so many of us is just this profound, lingering sense of being totally lost. We do everything society asks, we listen to every institution, and we still cross the finish line wondering which way is up.
So, the crucial point here is that this feeling of being lost, it's not an accident. It's a symptom of a deeply flawed system. And that brings us to the source's sharp critique of modern education, the illusion of certification.
To really get this critique, we need to contrast two entirely different beasts. On one side, we have certifications to make others believe. This is that heavy, performative burden of traditional education. It's the stuff you memorize just to pass a test, or to impress a boss, or maybe just to pad out your resume. But on the flip side, you have the essential knowledge you actually need to succeed. This distinction, it is absolutely crucial. The text is practically begging us to recognize the difference between lightweight, hyper-practical skills that actually drive success versus the exhausting paperwork we hoard just for the sake of other people's perceptions.
Thankfully, the text doesn't just drop this critique and run. It hands us an incredibly clarifying essentialist solution. Step 1, simplify things. Step 2, imbibe essential success skills. Rather than trying to satisfy every single institution out there, you take a step back and aggressively filter what you even allow into your head. By identifying and focusing solely on the foundational skills that genuinely move the needle for you, you create the ultimate antidote to that lifelong burnout we just talked about. It's time to stop pleasing institutions and start focusing exclusively on what is genuinely essential.
Now, what's really interesting here is how the source suggests we actually achieve this simplification. It points directly to two specific frameworks, Yancha and Metal. In the context of our text, these serve as foundational learning methodologies designed to cultivate intrinsic life skills. They focus heavily on raw capability and self-directed learning instead of just endlessly chasing external validation. By leaning on foundational tools like these, we can finally cut through the noise of all those demanding institutions and develop exactly what we need, leaving the performative certifications in the dust.
And this brilliantly illustrates the empowering final thesis of our source material. Quote, imbibe the essential success skills and the relevant knowledge you will gather in any case. I mean, how liberating is that? The text essentially promises that if you just master the foundational essential skills first, you don't have to force the rest of it. You don't have to cram. The specific, relevant knowledge you're going to need for your own unique path will just naturally be gathered along the way. You can actually trust yourself to learn what you need exactly when you need it rather than hoarding all this information just in case.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Take a hard look at your own history. Think about all the time, energy, and, let's be real, money you've spent on learning. Which of your past learnings were truly essential to who you are and what you've achieved, and which were just certifications gathered just to make others believe in you? It's a pretty powerful philosophy to apply to your own life, right? I really hope this sparks some deep self-reflection for you and encourages you to completely rethink your own lifelong learning journey moving forward. Thanks for joining me today, and keep focusing on what truly matters.